Hello friend, this is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and for this Reseller Friday I want to talk to you about local sourcing tips. Local sourcing is something that I'm not talking about going to your local thrift stores or retail stores and doing retail arbitrage and sourcing and thrifting. I'm talking about like going to individuals in the community, maybe even businesses who have extra inventory they're trying to offload. And so there are many avenues. One of them, the obvious one that everybody knows about is, at least in the US, it's called different things in different countries, but garage sales or yard sales. And these can be very advantageous for you because you can often find sellers who just want to get rid of stuff. Now you'll find sellers who just want to make the most money too. And they'll literally, I've seen so many garage sales where people have a printout next to the item saying, this is what it sells for on eBay. And of course, these people are not sophisticated. They don't understand how eBay works. So they just find the highest price version of that item on eBay and think that's what it sells for, not realizing that I could list a dollar item for $1,000 on eBay. It doesn't mean it's worth $1,000. The real metric to determine whether that item is worth buying and what it actually is going for at a going rate in the market is the actual sold listings. What are people actually paying for the item, not what are people trying to sell it for. But you can find good garage sales where people just want to clear stuff out. Here's the thing that many people don't see in a garage sale. Now understand, a garage sale is not a supplier. So you go to a garage sale, it's a one-time thing. Maybe that person has a garage sale maybe even a couple times a year. But it's not something you can depend on as your source of inventory. But there are opportunities, even in those garage sales, beyond what you see out for sale. So I'll give you an example. I went to a garage sale one time and this family had a number of clothing items, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't more than average garage sales around here. And so I was looking through the women's clothing, seeing if there's any items and brands I noticed in there that were good for resale. And the lady mentioned to me, oh, the men's stuff's over there, thinking I was buying for myself. And I said, oh, it's all right. I'm a reseller. I'm just looking through, seeing if something's worth buying. Oh, really? And then the two women talked, and they said, well, I'm glad you're honest about that. Everybody else pretends they're not a reseller. We could tell they are. And she goes, once you're through here, in the back, I have an entire building filled with clothing, and I'll give you a good deal on it. And then she explained to me how she had ran a charity, and they received donations of clothing, and they would give them to homeless people and things like that. And I guess the charity dissolved and she had all this extra clothing. There were items that were vintage items, some of them worth hundreds of dollars, I was getting for 50 cents each back in that building. But here's the thing, if I had not been honest and explained what I was doing, I would have missed out on that opportunity. If I said, oh yeah, thank you, and then went about my looking through the stuff that was out there, which wasn't even remotely close to as good as the stuff that was in the back. Other people weren't getting that opportunity. I got because I was honest and I was expecting opportunities. I was looking, I was talking, I was expecting opportunities. And that ended up being, and that was a garage sale I wasn't even intending on going. I was driving home after a long day. And I thought, I'm not going to that garage sale. And I said, no, let me just check it out. I'm right here. I might as well try it. And it was a great success. Now, not every garage sale is going to be that way, of course. But sometimes if you go to a garage sale and you see a number of items, I'll give you an example. This one person had a bunch of comics and they were signed art and stuff. Very unique and expensive stuff. This is not like a regular garage sale like they had one or two. They had a dozen of them. It's like, this is somebody who probably collects. I talked to him, said these are neat, and I'm trying to resell them. I need them to be around this price. And the guy was like, oh yeah, I got a bunch of these in the house. Come and look. This is another reason why I tell people you should not be lying. First thing, you shouldn't be lying in the first place at all for any reason. You should be an honest person of integrity. But you shouldn't be lying about being a reseller. So many resellers are ashamed of it, or they think they're doing something wrong, so they're kind of trying to sneak around. You look guilty when you're doing that, and people don't trust you, and they don't engage with you to give you opportunities when you're sneaking around like that, pretending you're not a reseller when you are. I've gotten so many good deals over the years because I explained to somebody I'm a reseller from the start. I didn't try to pretend I was doing something else. People don't care. The people who do care, they never mention it to me. And if they do have an issue with resellers? What does that matter? Those people who have issues with resellers probably aren't going to have any deals for you anyway, so it doesn't matter. But this individual with all this artwork brought me into their house, and they had items that were worth, some of them up to $10,000, that they were just trying to clear out for 20, 30 bucks. There are opportunities out there that are hidden in the garage sales if you'll ask. I've been to garage sales where they had a bunch of books, and I asked, do you have any more books? Oh, sure, we got a house full of them. And I've literally had them just take these books, we want them out of our house, and got hundreds of dollars worth of profit for free. I went to a garage sale one time, and I asked the price on an item. And he goes, well, what do you need it for? I go, oh, I resell stuff. Resell stuff? So you could use all this stuff. Well, most of it, yeah, probably. He goes, well, you can just have it all. We're about to close up anyway. It saved me some time. And he gave me everything at his garage sale. Not just that one item, every single thing for free. If you're honest and upfront, and you're not trying to trick people, and you're not trying to get them down another dollar on an item that's already very good price and a very high profitability, people will work with you, and you'll get opportunities. You'll create your own opportunities in that regard. Now, that's just garage sales. Let's talk about other means. Craigslist, OfferUp. There are various platforms where you can look up people who are selling things locally, and they list them in a classified type section. There are classified newspapers, and actual newspapers have classified sections in some cases. You can go to those as well. There are things for sale around you. There are social media platforms that have marketplaces where you can buy stuff locally and go pick it up. There are opportunities available to you. Now, you got to understand, in a lot of cases, there's a lot of resellers on those platforms too, and you're not going to get a great deal from them in many cases because they're just trying to sell one-on-one to an individual customer. But with that being said, it doesn't hurt to ask. The worst they can do is tell you no. I've talked to resellers locally who are doing the exact same thing I'm doing, and they have too much inventory, and I buy it off of them. Don't be afraid that, this reseller, we're competition and they're not going to want to help me. You never know what they're going through. So many resellers buy way too much inventory that they're never going to get listed. There might be an opportunity there. So if you see a reseller selling stuff on one of these local marketplaces, ask them. Just say, hey, I'm a reseller. I'm interested in buying these things in a bulk quantity. Do you have more available? What kind of price could you give me if I bought all of them? Just ask. You never know. Like I said, the worst they can say is no. And I hope the theme that I'm repeating is getting through to you. Be honest, be upfront, explain to people that you're a reseller. That will help you in your negotiations locally. Now, like I mentioned, don't be one of these people who's trying to chisel people out of a quarter or get $1 off an item that's $2 and you're going to be selling it for $100 anyway. Be fair, be honest with people. Don't try to get squeeze every little penny out of them. People don't like that. They don't like to feel that way. Now, I'm not telling you can't negotiate on price. There are certainly cases where you're going to need to negotiate on the price because their price is too high. But if it's a fair price and it's going to get you a good profit, why are you trying to get $1 off of it or 50 cents off of it or whatever the case may be? When you do that kind of stuff, you shut yourself off from other opportunities with that individual. And sometimes just buying at the full price will open you up to a greater opportunity because they might have more items available. And the final thing I want to leave you with as far as local sourcing, and it's going to get back to my theme, tell people you're a reseller. Tell everyone you talk to locally in your business and your work, whatever it is, friends and family. Let them know that you resell items and people will bring you stuff. Now, you'll get people who want you to do some sort of consignment thing and they want you to sell it for them and they think they're going to make millions of dollars off of you doing all the work. But there are also many people who just give you stuff. Oh, you resell video games? Well, here's my kids' old video games from the attic. You can have them all. There are so many opportunities available to you if you'll be open, expecting opportunity, looking for opportunity, and putting yourself in the best position to receive the opportunity by telling people that you're a reseller. Average people aren't going to go to someone else and just unload their inventory on them from their house, their items, because most people don't want that stuff. What do? They go to the local thrift store and donate it. Well, the thrift stores get a lot of good stuff. They get a lot of junk too, but they get a lot of good stuff. Your friends and family might just have great stuff they were going to go donate to a thrift store that they'll give to you because you've been honest and open with them and explained to them that you're a reseller. That's one of the easiest local opportunities of sourcing you have is your friends and family and people around you and who know you, because you tell them what you do, because you're honest and upfront about it. And if there is an opportunity to buy something from somebody, you give them a fair price. You're not trying to nickel and dime them. You're not trying to cut them down on the price to get the absolute cheapest price and squeeze any profit potential for them out of the mix. You're fair, you're honest in your dealings, and you're upfront about it, and you're looking for opportunities. And my friend, that's a simple recipe to get the best deals locally for your sourcing. And I want to leave you with this. Please post in the comments section some of your experiences locally. Maybe some tips you have, some things you've experienced, and ways of negotiating that helped you locally dealing with individuals, because that can be very beneficial to people and be a blessing to them and help them understand and get better at their local sourcing. So my friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.